It's late, it's out of date, but it's still great. Welcome back to Fog Football. It is the last SPFL review show of the season. And you know what? It's that late. We're not even going to go fully into all the lower league games. We're just going to talk about who went through. Levy, East Fife, Airdrie, East Kilbride. Good weekend. If you have East in your name, East Kilbride obviously beat Bonnie Rose. Good to see them. East Fife living large, baby. Levy set up that tie against Ross County, and of course Airdrie seen off Cove Rangers. So I mean, Levy. Let's actually speak about Levy for a wee second before we move into the Premiership. Who do we want, right? Levy or Ross County? We want Ross County every day of the week. But I do fear that Levy actually could beat Ross County. You know, the one time we actually, it's the one time that pretty much nobody, apart from the four Levy fans out there, actually want the championship team to lose to the Premiership. Usually I like the underdog, but I feel like with Levy against Ross County, it's not really. I think Levy are the underdog, but it's like nobody wants them. Dingwall, that's the drawing bar, man. Ross County, the Highlands, or Levy. It's not. Oh, that's a fall from grace. Anyway, let's get into it. Sunday, the 18th of May, 2025. Kelly nil, Hearts 1. It was interesting to hear Derek McKinnon's comments as Hearts manager regarding this whole debacle. He said that he ideally wanted to wait until after the season, but then after the rumours started flying out, he actually went to Kelly themselves and turned around and said that he didn't want to manage the last game of the season. So fair play to him for coming out and actually, shedding a bit of light on that. And I liked what he had to say about Hearts. He says that he wants fans when they wake up on a Saturday, they want to be excited for the match. They want to be looking forward to the game. And I do feel like this season, pretty much every game Hearts have played, they've not really been looking forward to any games. Um, Especially, the Naismith and Critchley. Hell, maybe the last couple under Lee and Fox have done all right. But anyway, the hand that gets sent off. Is this a red? Oh, it's one of those grey areas, I think, right? Because he gets pushed by the Kelly player into another Kelly player, but he does stamp rather high. But it's like, is he out of control? Is he out of control due to the Kelly player pushing him? Could he pull it? It's a dodgy one. I can see both sides of it. This is one of those decisions where I genuinely feel if they give a red, I understand it, but if they don't, I understand it. This is one of the ones where I think we can all accept that Farr can't really get it 100% right. And I feel like if the ref doesn't give a red, then it's not clear and obvious for me because he's been pushed into the tackle. But saying that, it did go too far and he did get sent off. So apples and oranges, folks. I don't really know. I mean, I 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Didn't really stop Hearts because they won in the end, but I could see why if you were the hand, you'd be a wee bit aggrieved at it. Anyway, Stephen Kingsley stepped up to task, got a goal. Hearts, Andrew McKinley speaking the talk of winning the league, few signings here and there. Hearts, I think what they've just got to aim for first is get third spot, get that Tony Bloom injection, and move a wee bit further up the table. Anyway, Ross County 1, Motherwell 1. Ross County were headed towards a victory, and then Big Moses made it one each. Not that it would have mattered overly much because Dundee were well on their way to a win anyway, but give them a wee bit of confidence, Ross County, ahead of the two legs against Levy. Um, Moving on to St Johnstone nil, Dundee 2. St Johnston's last game in the Premiership, maybe forever, who knows? But Lyle Cameron, hopefully he can continue this form forever at Rangers. In his own words, he's leaving a small club for the biggest club. So, tell you what, the guy's getting goals, the guy's getting assists. Rangers fire him into that midfield, man. I don't want any. He's going to IKEA to get his furniture. I don't want any of that, right? I want this guy fired in there. See pre-season, start him. See what we did with Connor Barron last pre-season and the start of this season. Well, it's weird because the season's over, but we've got a cup final, so it's kind of over. You know, I guess the season is officially over after this weekend, isn't it? But you know what I mean. Just get him in there, right? He's in the form of his career right now, Lyle Cameron. There is no point putting him on the back burner for any other jobbers. I want to see him start, him and Nico Raskin. But yeah, good win for Dundee, solidifying 10th spot. Obviously, Tony Docherty sacked. It's harsh, but it's ambitious. Dundee have got big plans. We'll have to wait and see. You know, if they bring in a manager and they finish higher than 10th next season, I don't think many people could really complain with the sacking of Tony Docherty. But if they go down and they go through another manager, then people are going to be laughing at them. Saturday, Celtic won. St Mirren won. James Forrest, 94th minute equaliser. You know, it would have been heartbreaking for St Mirren if they had drew this game so late on and it cost them Europe. But due to Aberdeen bottling it against fucking Dundee United, it didn't really matter too much. But again, it's still a victory at Parkhead that doesn't happen all too often. And it would have. I mean, Celtic still won the league, you know, and a draw is not exactly a great result, and a loss would have been worse. But you want to avoid it on the last day, title day. But St Mirren's so close to that win, and you know what? I think they deserved it. But fair play to Forrest, because it's not just a case of a smash and grab here. I thought once he came on, he actually offered Celtic a bit different, something different up front, and he keeps that record going. So one each in the end. Right, Dundee United 2, Aberdeen 1. Aberdeen took the lead with Ockles, Declan Gallagher and Sam Dalby getting themselves on the score sheet, getting Dundee United 4th, getting them Europa League second qualifying round, I believe they go in. So, I mean, there is quite a difference there. Like, you know, I know it may not appear it, but if you're ambitious, right, getting to the Europa League is so much better than getting to the Conference League, because it's higher level competition, and also you've got the fallback of losing and going into the Conference League qualifiers, like we've seen with Kelly this season. Yeah, Aberdeen. Yeah, they could fix it all right if they turn up on when is it? Is it Saturday or Sunday? I can't remember what date it is. This cup final. See if they beat Celtic, right? This does not matter. This season will be looked at as great. It's like, oh, look at the start of the season in the league, and then yeah, it got a bit shaky, but we won the cup and we got that group stage football that we all cherish. But they're going to lose about 4-0 at the weekend, and there's nothing to cherish. And it's good to see that I think it was a 31-year-old, whoever, doesn't really matter his age, has been charged with flinging the seat at Jack McKenzie. So yeah, I'll be interested to see what happens to that. Is there going to be any fallout? Seen a lot of debate about alcohol in stadiums, or this is why it can never be brought in, etc., etc. You know, just because one Aberdeen fan, right, threw a chair does not condemn every single fan, right, that's ever been to a football game that wants a drink. You know what I mean? It's just a joke. It is, but tell you what, we'll have to wait and see what is the fault of this. And the good thing is that Jack McKenzie's all right, because see, actually seeing the footage of the chair, the sound it makes off his skull, man, sickening. Truly was. And then our final game, Hibs 2, Rangers 2. Yeah, there was a wee dodgy decision in this game. Nick Walsh and VAR shat their pants, as to be expected, but I'm not going to agree about it too much. Season's over. Stevie Gerrard, Stevie Gerrard, yeah, of course. He's on his way. He's on his way back home. Fuck Derby. Fuck Liverpool. It's all about the Glasgow Rangers. That's what we want, Stevie G. We need Stevie G back. It looks all but done. His barber apparently has took a picture of fucking the training ground, so he must be. I'm on my way. Aye, so Desser's finished his top goal scorer. And then he posted about it on Twitter, like, oh, I know it's not the trophy we wanted, but it's a wee trophy. It's like, no, mate, it's not even a trophy. I don't give two shits about Cyril Dessers getting top goal scorer, honestly. You know, and he says that, like, oh, yeah, I've been fantastic this season, but the team's let us down. I'm sorry, folks. Mate, your arse folded in that League Cup penalty shootout. You let the left back take a penalty before you, and you're the number 9. Disgraceful. Some people may have forgot that, but I sure as hell haven't. Anyway, that is it. We'll look at the league table to wrap it up. I think there will be a bit more of an in-depth review at this campaign, but there it is. Rangers 17 points behind Celtic. Hibs 17 points behind Rangers. Scottish football in a nutshell. Rangers have their worst season in a long time and still finish that much clear of third spot. I'll be fair to Hibs, if they got a decent start to the campaign, they would be a lot closer, but that's just the way it crumbles at the end of the day. St Johnstone are down Ross County against Livy. Hearts lacklustre. More points than St Mirren, to be fair, but they did play 5 games in the split. And Aberdeen fucking bottle it, and Celtic win yet again. It's a rebuild at Rangers. Can it be done with Gerrard? Aye, we've seen Rangers win the league by 25 points, and Celtic won it the next year with Ange Postecoglou. So Gerrard is going into a team with better foundations than when he went in the last time. That's for sure. As much of a mess as Rangers have been this season, we've got better players this time round than in 2017-18. That's a fact. As much as I think, defensively, it is like literally the worst we've ever had. The stats don't lie. As an overall team and actual players, it's much better than that. We've got some assets, guys that are worth a bit of cash. And we're not finishing third in the league. We're actually, we're now second by a clear gap, which here I'm not bragging about, but that's the fucking reality. When Gerrard came in the first time, we finished behind Aberdeen. Now we're in second, and we've actually shown in games that Rangers can beat Celtic. Barry's got 4 points out of 6 against Brendan Rodgers, so compare it to pre-Gerrard, where every game was 4-0, 5-1, 5-0. Things are looking better for Rangers. Things are looking better for a lot of clubs. Dundee United, St Mirren, what can they do next season? Hibs, can they build on it? What will Aberdeen do? What can Hearts do? A lot of optimism in the air. Someone said, you're being disrespectful to St Mirren for comparing Dundee to them. What I meant was in the video about Tony Docherty is that when you compare them, it's like, if St Mirren can get 6th, I said, then why can't Dundee? Because I do view them as like similar stature in the league. And I don't think it was being disrespectful to St Mirren or downplaying what Stephen Robinson's done, because I think 3 years in a row top 6 is great. Dundee obviously did it last season, but that's what I think, man. I just don't think I think Dundee sacking Tony Docherty is a bit uncalled for, because it's like, yeah, you can say underachieved, but I mean, who are you expecting to beat in this league at the end of the day? I think Dundee staying up consistently for a bunch of years is as good as it's going to get, until you can lay those foundations and then build on that. I mean, you look at Motherwell, 40 years in the Premiership. Can you really expect to finish above them? You look at the traditional top 6: Dundee United, Hearts, Aberdeen, Hibs, Rangers, Celtic. Do Dundee have a claim to get above any of them? Not really. St Mirren, you factor in their form of recent seasons? Not really. Kelly, everyone would agree that Kelly are better than Dundee. And then you've got Ross County and St. I would say 10th's about right for Dundee, I would. And they've had a lot of injuries, and I think Tony Docherty managed to fight his way through it. But anyway, that's us done. Last review show of the year. Obviously, a few games this season to look forward to. I think a lot of people look forward to the one later on the night. Man United and Tottenham. Will Ange in his second season wonders come true, or will Man United's undefeated Europa League streak come to an end, or whatever the fuck they're trying to spin, what narrative they're trying to spin with that garbage, man, who knows. Anyway, that's us signing out. Another season done. We'll be back next year. Well, I say next year. There'll be a fit in a few hours. You know the score. Till next time. Peace.